Testing one. Volleyball league. We are having KVC ladies versus UPDF, and of course UPDF having scooped an amazing win against KCCA in their previous game, getting those 3 points. I think they've really improved since they started this league. KVC also looking for 3 points here because they've really they got some few points against Nemo Stars ladies, but they've had a few breakdowns, so they'll also be looking for 3 points here. And of course, I am Shamira, and I'm going to be working with Malik this afternoon. Malik, thank you for joining me for this commentary.
Thank you so much, Shamila. Good afternoon to our viewers. Welcome for this Saturday action. Starting with UPDF up against KVC. Hopefully, it is a very entertaining match to watch. We see who's battling to keep surviving in the league. We see both teams still trying to gain some points in this first round of the season, and UPDF has tended to gain more points considerably better than KVC, and KVC would be looking at improving their wins and getting more points out of such a fixture.
Yes, and of course, on that lineup for KVC, for UPDF, we see Kutha. No, we see Amoding, we see Grace. Of course, they are most crucial players at the moment. The players that try to think for the team with their experience and bring in those good plays. And of course, Ikapel also being there for KVC shows that this is a serious game for them. We usually see her. We usually don't see her around for games because she's maybe working, but we can see her here. And but UPDF is having a good run this set. They've started great. They are having 20 points, and KVC is sitting at 11. So UPDF is looking to take away this set. It's just a wonderful play for them.
Yeah, obviously, Ikapel is a very big addition to the KVC side. Whenever she shows up, she really gives them options in the middle. She's a good blocker and as well a good server. So she's surely a very big addition to the KVC side.
Yes, and of course the setter sending that back set to Amoding. It's a dump. It's well read. Oh, it's unfortunate they can't send it back over. But I think one of the reasons why UPDF has really stayed up there right now, like pushed themselves to be good the way they are, is because of their defense. Their defense is quite good. They you attack, they are there, they are defending those balls, and it comes with experience. They are not scared, and they
Yeah,
have ways of making points.
yeah, that is right. And most times we see teams struggling to score on them. And whether you are dumping, whether you are attacking, they tend to really fight on until the ball has landed. And that is a very, very big character for the team.
Yes, and we've seen Kutha also coming on for the first time in this set. But congratulations to Kutha. We know that she graduated today from Kampala International University. So, and she's here for the game. So, of
Uh,
course, that also shows that she wants her team to go away with this win here.
Yeah, that is a very, very big commitment to the team and a sign of loyalty because you wouldn't expect her on such a day, in that she had her graduation day just a few hours ago. And possibly maybe after that, and maybe she had a little bit of lunch, and now she's here to show up for the team and try to support the team to get the wins they need to survive in the league. And this is a very, very big actually addition, and the sign of loyalty she shows is surely undisputed.
Yes, and talk about Grace being also a big addition for the UPDF team this season. She brings in those good services, and we saw against KCCA what her service did. It brought that pressure on KCCA, and KCCA didn't have a way out of it. So, and there she goes back in service. So KVC needs to see how to counter that from her.
Yeah, we've seen KVC try to struggle through this game. They are finding it very hard to receive, and the point range is surely very high. That is a difference of 8 points. But as the game goes on, I see they are trying to stabilize because the start was really, really poor. They couldn't get the first ball to be kept up, and now we still see the same errors happening. There are very, very easy balls landing on the KVC side of the court, and they are failing to stabilize in how to pick those balls and how to try and execute the ball.
And substitution coming in for team UPDF. But there goes the timeout for KFVC. UPDF has really had an impressive start, and I think they're going in this game knowing that they can actually take it away 3-0. So you can see with such a start, KFVC seems to not have a chance against them. But of course, volleyball, as we know, it's a game of surprises. So we shall be seeing how it can go.
Yeah, that is very right. And yeah, you're very right, Shamila. The UPDF side has shown their intent to win this game. They started off with a very, very good momentum. They've kept their momentum high. They've kept their heads high. And we see KVC is a little bit low. They are they are trying to find an option on how they can execute and how they can receive the services from the UPDF side, but things are not yet working out well. And let's see what Coach Nicholas Diongela has told the team to do to be able to improve that first reception so that they can stabilize their play.
Yes, and now Amoding also coming in with that service for UPDF. It's a big serve and just misses the court slightly. But I think I almost saw the libero trying to go for that one, but she's just lucky to miss it a bit and it goes out. Ikapel going into serve for KVC. And of course, UPDF looking for just 2 points to take it away. It's a big serve. Oh, and it's a block, but the cover is there, like we mentioned, and it's now a free ball for KVC. It's a good pick. Ball goes through the middle. It's a dump, and this time there's no effort there to pick it up, and that's another addition for KVC.
Yeah, that was an easy score. The players on the UPDF side tended to be flat-footed. They couldn't easily move to pick that. But I think they are also a bit confident that this set is surely theirs.
Yes, and the setter chooses to go in the middle with that dig set. Another big swing from the middle, and KVC takes it out again. That's a good swing there from.
And that is what they've been lacking. They've not been playing in through the middle, and now they have chance to play through the middle, and they are trying to score. They are trying to score points because now they really have the first pass, which is good.
Yes, and there is set point for UPDF uh, in this first set. Who's are going in to bring that service on for UPDF.
She's also a very, very technical server, and one who can actually harm you when you give her the confidence.
Yes, and it's a big serve. Good touch from Christine. Ball again goes through the middle, and it's a dump once again, and KVC takes it away. I think the sets there in the middle are not very, very high for the attacker, Nanyondo, to take it to get that swing. So, oh,
That is
sorry,
Diana.
Diana, to take that swing. Yeah, and so, of course,
KVC has tried to reduce the gap because at one point UPDF was 10 points leading, and they've really tried to close up the gap, and the points are actually at around 6 points. So they've really tried to stabilize, and we see a substitution coming in, Maggie coming in to serve. She's also a very, very good server. Let's see what she can provide for the team. By the way, she has missed quite a number of games for KVC side.
yes. And now this the big set, big swing from UPDF, and they take the set away. That's a wonderful start for UPDF, starting off very, very, very strong. Look at that gap that they've taken this set away with. And of course, we shall be seeing Alutia also coming in with those big swings. I think she's the tallest player they have on their team, and she's the one that brings in those big swings from their side.
Yeah, she is one of the players who have actually consistently maintained her position in the starting lineup of UPDF. That really shows you that she's one player who's very, very reliable in terms of offense, and the fact that she's very tall, she's also giving them options on defense. And as well, she has a very good service because we've seen her serve very, very well and harm teams, especially when they were playing up against the winner they had against KCCA. And she's surely one of the players who can give UPDF a lead to get some points throughout this game.
Yes, but of course we are looking forward to the second set to see if KVC can play better and maybe also bring themselves up and also pick up a set here, because I feel the teams, KVC is strong enough to actually give UPDF a challenge, and UPDF, as we've seen already in the first set, are also too strong to actually take it away. So let's wait for that second set and see who takes it away.
Okay, welcome back for set two. Uh, and now we see still KVC trailing. They are now 4-0 down. I think, is it 4-0? They should be like 5.
Yes.
I don't know, but they are still failing to break. We see they made a little bit of changes. Winnie on. Uh, we see in the middle they are trying to play through the middle with Diana, but then we see miscommunication. She's missing the ball, and they are still failing to break that service.
Yes, and of course, UPDF having a very strong start, that big lead, and now they're pushing it to 5-0 and enjoying themselves, really. The services are coming in hard. KVC is looking for ways to go through, but there's just no chance at the moment, and they need to find a better way to score. I feel like they need to go harder on the attacks because UPDF is covering the swings that they are making. And now a free ball coming for them as well. Well picked. And the setter, of course, will have to look for Alutia there in 4. And she gets the swing once again. Free ball for KVC. The setter goes for Amoding behind. It's another big swing from her. And again, UPDF, Madina tries to send that very tricky free ball, but then she just doesn't get it. And those
Uh,
are 6 points now.
I think KVC is really struggling with offense. They are they are they are they are receiving. They are setting their ball. The setter is trying to put their balls, but they are struggling so much to score. And the points must be around like 7-0. We shall correct that scoreboard, but KVC is really struggling here to make the first point, and that is another error from Diana. She attacks that ball outside, still sending KVC into a situation that is really hard for them to manage right now.
Yes, and remember they called a very early timeout at 5-0. So I think they need to see how to sort themselves out. Oh, and finally they're able to get that point off the block there, and maybe they can start there because ladies' games are just really interesting. Anything is possible. In a men's game right now, you could even say they could take the set,
Yeah, right
but
now in the
ladies,
men's
no.
game, you would actually start counting that the team is losing this set, but it is an early set at 8-1. We've seen teams really come back up, and by the time they reach half the set, around 15, 17 points, they've caught up. But the team also that chases and needs to catch up, it should really show its intent of catching up. And right now we see UPDF is really psyched up. They are playing when they need that win, and we still see the errors on the KVC side being so many, and that is a service loss from Maggie.
Yes, and you see, KVC can't afford to be doing service errors right now because they are trailing behind. I think it's easier to just send the ball on court and see if you can try to defend rather than give away a free point. But UPDF bringing back the services once again. Big serve. Ball is still kept alive by UPDF. Grace gets into that setting department, but there is an error from Kutha on that swing. The ball doesn't go over, and KVC gets another point, now trailing 7 points behind. But of course, as you said, Malik, this is still a very early set, so if KVC can psych up and see what to do, maybe they could play. But then there goes a second service error.
And right now I can tell you that KVC has not yet served on court, and that is very bad to think about. Whenever you are actually down, you're chasing points, but you're failing to serve that ball on court, and the other team is really serving you, and they are not giving you any chance of coming back up, and you still fail to actually clear out your errors. I
Yes.
think KVC needs to step up in their play. They have lost confidence, but they need to use their experience they have in players that they have on court to be able to score, and maybe reduce on the service errors they are having right now. The only 2 points they have, and it has been, we've seen 2 errors from the UPDF side, so they need to score more on if they need to actually to make more points and catch up and reduce the gap.
Yes, and KVC is really struggling in this game, and if they're being one set down, they need to find a way to really close that gap and give themselves a fighting chance, because at this rate, if UPDF goes away with set 2, it will be very difficult for KVC to come back in the third set, because we've seen UPDF and what they do in that fighting zone. They will go for that third set like it's the last set they will ever play.
Yeah, we've seen UPDF actually in all the games they've played. They've really, whenever they come knowing that this is a set that can actually give them the game, they put in a lot of fighting spirit. They tend to play better, they tend to reduce the errors, and they end up taking the game. So hopefully they'll look through still to play the same way in this particular game here.
Yes, and KVC isn't a team where they have. I mean, UPDF isn't a team where the attackers are attacking like very hard. It's just Lutia who is going hard, but the rest of the players are just using what we usually call brains to play. They just look for space on court. Kutha, Grace, that's what they are doing. Amoding, that's the type of play they are doing. And KVC has not yet done that type of play so far. And I think that they need to play against UPDF and not with UPDF.
Yeah, and we see Mauritia coming in with the first swing that could actually give KVC the point. And I think that is the first point they've made by themselves through a swing. And they need to make more. They need to score more from that front side.
Yes, but it's a good pick there from UPDF, but Balunji is unable to keep it on court. But she comes in hard usually through the middle. I think that one was just slightly.
Yeah, she's one of the great silver attackers on the UPDF side, especially those balls she attacks through the middle. Because she attacks slightly high ball in the middle, but she really swings on it very hard.
Yes, it's another swing from KVC, but that ball is kept alive. Kutha coming in with the dump, well read by the setter there. It's another set, it's a dump again that is picked up. It's a big swing through the middle from Balunji. It's another swing there from KVC, and they are able to get that point. I think that's another swing that KVC has brought in. I think the third swing that they are getting a point off in this set, but closing that gap down from 8 points to now 6 points.
Which is very good for the KVC side, but the service, I think it is one of the points that will give them more scores on the game. And then we see another service error from Harriet, who's one of their best servers, and then she serves that ball outside.
And KVC looking very good, really. They are trying to make a comeback, and UPDF has only made 1 point since KVC has made several points and UPDF has made like 2 points. They are not making as many points as they should. And there goes a big block on Balunji, and KVC again now closing the gap. It's now just 4 points there.
Like I told you from the start, by the time the set reaches halfway, since it was an early set, the team that is really concentrating and giving in their best, they'll close up that gap. And now we see the point stand at 9-13. There was a 7-point difference, but now it comes down to 4.
Yes, a big serve coming in from the setter. It's a set. Oh, good play.
We see very many teams still struggle to pick those balls that are actually dumped into the middle of the court, whether spinned over, whether dumped over. We see players don't know who should take up that ball, and most times it lands. It is one of the things most teams need to work on in terms of cover.
Yes, but that's a good pick, and Winnie comes in very hard, but the defense on the UPDF side is there. And now another big swing, but they are shut down by UPDF. Very impressive block. And now UPDF are taking their lead back to 6 points. I think they will be quite impressed with that.
Yeah, they need to get their lead back up, and we saw that block coming in from Alutia. Like we said, she can provide enough for the team in terms of defense and offense, and now she really comes in with a very big block for the UPDF side.
And Balunji coming in with that big serve, but Christine is unable to dodge it on time, and it just catches her as it goes out. And that is an unnecessary error from her, because the points are there are too many there that they need to catch up. But I think, being the libero in this moment, she could be able to see how to let that go out. But there comes a good defense from UPDF. Big swing from Alutia, and now she gets another point for UPDF, and now pushing the lead back to 8 points, as we saw in the start. But take a look at the swings coming in from the UPDF side and the swings coming in from the KVC side. UPDF is just there on that defense.
Yeah, and whenever UPDF defends the ball, they tend to push that ball to their host, who most especially they have on the front court at that particular time. And we've seen most of the players at that particular time deliver. And they've actually kept on having their lead and increasing it. And still the KVC side, they are failing to do the same. Most of the players they give the ball, they are failing to execute the ball and score for the team.
Yes, KVC finally catching a break there and getting the chance to serve. Says another service error. KVC has had so far 5 service errors that we have actually seen and calculated in this set. And so those are so many service errors from their side, and now being down to 10 points. So those could have been 15 points for them right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
But
that is very true. And the fact that they are trailing from the start, they were trailing. They don't need to actually make service faults at this particular time, because they are chasing the point gap that is actually very high. But we still see they are still coming up with service errors as the set goes on. But that is a very good service from Maggie, picked up very well by UPDF, and the attempt to dump it fails. And another swing comes in from Alutia.
big swing from Winnie. She just dumps that one. Moding comes in hard. Ball is kept alive from KVC. Oh, that ball just goes out. It's an error from Maggie on
That
that
is,
side
I think that is Jackie. She
of
has tried
Jackie,
to
yeah.
score through off spins. She scored quite like 2 or 1, and now she's still trying the same attempts, but it doesn't actually catch up.
But look at the scores, 19-11. UPDF trying to maintain that lead, but there is a lousy service from Alutia, very uncharacteristic of her in that moment. And you can see even the posture as she goes to serve. It was a little bit lousy once again.
There was,
And
actually, I think she lacked concentration by the time she went into that service. She really didn't seem like she knew where exactly she was going to serve.
yes, and that gives KVC a free point and a break to push themselves once again and see how to catch up. But this time the service is on. The set to Kutha. That ball goes to 6. Set in 4. Big swing there from Jackie this time, and she's able to get that point.
We saw a substitution come in from the KVC side, and that was Akanje coming in for Winnie, and she delivered the service very well, and KVC managed to score. But we see still another substitution by still the KVC side, and that is Shemerire coming on. Perhaps they are looking at the defense on the net, and also trying to improve their offense. Very
Yes.
nice cover, the position 6, but then the attempt to pass over the ball fails. UPDF is also, they need also to come down and pick those balls comfortably, since they are free balls. And then Harriet comes in with a swing through the middle, and KVC manages to go up with that. And the score line still now reduces on the KVC side to 5 points.
Yes, and UPDF now calling the first time out of this set to see how they can sort out those issues, because I feel right now they are now going on pressure at the time when they should be more relaxed and calm, because they're having a big lead, and they're just close to the end of the set. They need 6 points. So I think this is the time when they should be very calm and collected to avoid those miscommunication and errors on defense.
Yeah, that is very right. And by the time we see free balls come in, they should be able to know who takes the free balls and try be able to communicate very well and effectively to be able to pick up those balls and use them effectively. But we see if they keep up with those lousy errors, the point gap will keep on reducing. And for the KVC side, they really have to also minimize their errors and try to get more points and earn more points by forcing UPDF to make errors. Let's see what the timeout goes for the UPDF side.
It's a big swing from Omoding there. Does she catch the line? Yes,
Yeah,
she
she
got it.
swings that down onto the line, but I think the Ribeiro couldn't be able to pick that. She was a little bit far in the back zone, and that gives UPDF a 6 point advantage.
Yes, and of course, UPDF now being able to catch a break in the right moment, and they will be looking to maintain themselves there right now, because they are looking at getting this set in a better way. And now the defense being on. Ball goes to Amoding. It's a dump, but the cover is there on the KVC side. It's a free ball for UPDF. Grace coming in to take in that setting position, and UPDF gets that point from Kutha, and now looking for 4 points to take away the set. And that's what they were looking for, the calmness and the patience. They need to relax and play right now, because they're ahead.
Yeah, and I think it was unnecessary for the setter to pick that ball, but somehow UPDF managed to go over with that. But that was actually distracting on their offensive play, because a setter picking such a high ball, yet the likes of Grace, Kutha, and Lutia, they are available to pick those balls. It actually kills their offensive play. But we saw Kutha using high experience to be able to score on that ball. And then comes another free ball picked by Harriet. She also tries to dump it, but the attempt doesn't go right. And Amadine comes in with a swing, but what a big block from Harriet. And
Yes.
I think that is Jackie. They try to block the ball down.
Yes, and I think this is pushing KVC, giving them that confidence and morale. But of course, UPDF has to settle down and see how to get that next point as well.
Very
It's a
nice
big
service from
serve.
Jackie.
Yeah, would that count as an ace service?
Yeah, that one goes as an S service. And by the way, Jack is a very good server whereby you don't need to give her the confidence and the time to harm you. And if UPDF needs to keep their lead, they need to break her off service. Let's see what they can do. Service comes in, another good service, but that's a good pass from Kutha. And then she comes in with a hard swing. She manages to get that point for UPDF, and the points goes at 22-17.
Yes, I think UPDF gets that break in a very, very crucial time, because it had KVC made the next point, they would now be down to 3 points, and they would have a very small range to catch up, which is very possible usually in games at such a time.
Yeah, even right now it is still possible at 22-17. We see in ladies games teams really catch up with these points. You can actually be a little bit comfortable when you get the points at 24, and that's where you can feel like maybe we can be able to go away with this.
Yes, but that's a good play from UPDF trying to save that ball. But of course, with that maturity there from the setter on the KVC side, she just sends the ball back immediately without waiting for UPDF to organize themselves. And she's able to get that point as quickly as possible.
I like the fact that Mauritia is trying to give them a challenge, actually trying to give UPDF a challenge on the position for side. She's, I think, the only outside attacker trying to swing in very hard and trying to score for the team.
Yes, but there's a dump. Grace is just there waiting for it. The setter for UPDF as well tries to send a dump. It's a free ball. I think it's a chance for UPDF, and the setter chooses to go to backcourt. And with just that swing, Alutia gets that point. Did you see the swing was just sending over the ball, but I think Jackie doesn't quite time it well, and she ends up just sending it away.
Yeah, that one was an off spin from Arutia towards position one, and I think Jackie wasn't agile enough to pick that ball, and it was a very, very easy score for UPDF. And these are some of the scores that actually give a team more confidence of winning. Because when a team wins such a score or such a point very easily like that, the confidence is really high. And there comes another block from UPDF side, and now it is set point for UPDF.
And they are running away with the second set as well. Big serve from Kutha. Mauritia comes in hard, but the defense is there. This is what we are talking about UPDF. They are just there defending all these big swings. Oh, the ball goes over. They set that they still look for Alutia there in four. It's another chance for KVC. Ball is still up in favor, and the setter just decides to take it away for herself. And of course, UPDF takes away the second set as well. Wonderful play from them. Really, really beautiful.
Yeah, that is already one end point for UPDF, and now KVC will be looking on fighting for a point as well as we see UPDF trying to fight for the remaining 2 points. But UPDF looks a little bit more composed in these two sets, and now we see both sets ending up at 25-18.
Yes, and I think we shall be looking forward to the third set as well to see how KVC is going to play in that third set, because they also tend to fight for the third set so much. But I want to see if their start will be as bad as the previous set or better, and want to see if UPDF could have a similar start, because in the first two sets they've had a great start. So I think we stay on for set three and see.
Yeah, that is very right. UPDF was starting off with a very, very big lead, a very, very good start. And will they do the same in set three? Let's wait and see. Welcome back for set three. And we see, starting with the services, Jackie on the KVC side, a very good service. But Alutia comes in with a big swing. Ball is kept alive. And another big swing comes in, but the ball goes way outside. And the KVC earns the first point of since we started this game.
Yeah, it's their first point in a set, win
Yeah.
taking the first point of the set.
Mm.
And like I said at the end of the second set, KVC will be looking to actually push so hard to go away with this third set. Yeah, sometimes you have to save yourself as a team. Grace coming on with that one leg, the ball seven, as we know it.
Yeah, some people call it a slide. And
Yeah.
the attempt didn't really go like she expected to score the point immediately. But as well, we still see UPDF came up with that dump and they scored the point.
But I'm genuinely surprised that Grace went for that ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually we see very, very tall players go for that slide because it actually requires tall players to effectively execute that ball. And it was actually also a surprise to me that she went for that ball because I've never seen it. It is for the first time that she went for that ball, and she really attacked it, but it couldn't score. Maybe their next attempt it will. And then we see Alutia coming in with another swing in position two, and she hits that ball down on the ground, giving UPDF on the tie on the points, and
Yes,
she goes into service.
but we saw UPDF didn't have a great start, of course, with that service loss that came in at the start. But maybe they will organize themselves and see how to fix themselves and get the points. But KVC is starting really, really strong. You can see the attacks, the swings, everything is just really, really working out for them so far in these 3 points.
Yeah, I think in the first two sets they've really seen that they really need to improve their play, and maybe in the team talk they discussed and they were like, no, you know what, we need to start off very well. Our start has been very poor. If we are able to play and match up the UPDF side, we need to start off well, and they've really started off well, considering the first two sets how they started off.
Yes, but now both teams tying 3-3, and big serve coming in there from UPDF. Big swing, ball is kept alive. Good defense from Grace. Now ball going to Kutha. She goes for the dump, but that is well read. It's a free ball. Alutia is just there waiting for it. Back set for Amoding. Big swing. Ball is kept alive.
Yeah, I think that was going out, but she couldn't read that very quickly. And then there comes another block error from the KVC side.
Yes, I
Ball
think
is
she thought
blocked out.
should have how do they, a duel or something with the setter there on the net, but the setter just doesn't put her hands there, and she ends up dumping that ball.
No,
I
she
think.
chose to block the ball on the side, but I think it was too much.
Yes, and as the setter being back court, I think she should have been able to just
Yeah,
put
she
it
should
on
have
court
done better.
because the setter couldn't jump and block there.
Yeah, very right about that.
Yep.
And then UPDF still has the service, a very good service, good pass as well from Christine. And there comes a swing by Winnie, but that ball goes out.
It's an error from Winnie
And then
from the
UPDF
backcourt.
goes into the lead again.
Yes, they are now going back into the normal where they've been leading and taking charge of this game.
KVC needs to rethink and try to think on how offensively they can play, because because the combinations are failing, and now we see an S service from UPDF. Really now forcing KVC to go into substitution. That
Yes,
is a double substitution that we see now.
very early, very early double substitution, if I must say, because the set is still very, very young for KVC. But I think they need it to see how they can get three attackers on that front court. Of course, bringing in one of their most experienced players, I think they could do differently in this set.
And
Another
still, we
ace.
see another S from Grace, and KVC still failing to get that reception to their setter,
And,
and
and
the whole offense is
yeah,
killed.
and Grace is that server that will go in that box and risk it,
Yeah,
especially
that
knowing
is
that
very
her
right.
team is leading. She will risk that service and that's a good advantage for her. And again, you can see how it's coming. And this time she just doesn't get that ace by just a little bit. It's a free ball. Setter goes to Amoding.
Well
Well
read by
picked.
Jackie.
Yeah. It's an error from the setter. Look at those scores. I think UPDF is now going to settle in much, much better. It's now a 5 point lead for them. And we've seen Kavc is struggling to actually catch up with this set as well. With the previous set, we've seen they've struggled to catch up, and now calling a very early timeout once again.
Everything is not working on the KVC side. They are really struggling, especially reception. They are finding it a challenge to receive the services from the UPDF side, and now that leads them to actually failing to get options in the offense. Uh, we see they really have good offensive play through the middle, but now the reception cannot accept them to do that, and now they are struggling, and the outside players need to step up in case KVC needs to close up the gap and stabilize their play.
Yes, and of course, coming back from that timeout, Grace still in service for UPDF side. And we know usually the timeout is made to reduce that service pressure from a server, but she gets an ace serve immediately from that timeout and takes UPDF back to
A lead
increases
of
that
six
lead of
to,
UPDF. Yes.
yeah, to 6 points. Well, they need to find a solution on what they can do about service. And then we see the libero comes out and Diana steps in to receive the balls herself.
Oh, it's a service error from Grace, I think. But I think she has had a good service run.
Yeah, she has had a good service run, but that was unnecessary. The fact that she already has the confidence, and then the libero is pushed out, and another center player comes in to receive, she should have kept that service on court. And then
Big
Amadine
swing.
comes in she swings that hard onto the line, and
Yes.
then that one still keeps UPDF up. What do you say about that attack?
I think it's so impressive, and I think Amoding tends to downplay her attacks. She tends to take off the energy. She wants to look for the court, but then that one time she comes in, she swings hard, and this is not the first time we are seeing that in this game as well. So I feel like maybe if she could consistently just keep going hard, I think even it would be so much better.
She is one other player that actually play in the back zone of this UPDF side. She's not really seen on how she contributes to the team. Perhaps we see the likes of Alutia being the hard attackers, and with the Grace and Kutha playing in a very big roles. But what Amoding does, I think she scores very many points for this UPDF side, and we don't tend to see that because she's that player who keeps in the back zone. You cannot know when she will harm you.
Yes, and that's what I'm talking about, downplaying her energy. She shows you she's not coming hard this time, but then that one swing, she just comes very hard.
That's a good service from Harriet, and a big block from Patience and Diana. And then Jackie comes in with a swing, but Grace keeps that alive.
It's a free ball for KVC. Tough pick there for Jackie. She comes in hard. This time ball is kept alive. And UPDF is just not letting the balls land. KVC making the efforts on the swings there, but UPDF going away with this point as well.
Look at that play from the UPDF side. They are literally trying to push the ball back to the KVC side to force them into errors. And even if it means playing two touches, they defend the ball but push the ball back to the KVC side, and then we see them defend very well.
And they do that on all in their games. That is their style of play. They don't take they want the ball to be on the opponent's side at all times, because with such type of play the opponent tends to end up making errors. And there goes another error from the KVC side on the attack from Jackie. And UPDF now taking the lead back to 7 points. I don't want to rush to say this, but I think if things continue to go on as they are going on now in this set, UPDF could take this game away 3-0. I think KVC needs to psych up real quick, because the time is running out, and that is what I'm talking about. The blocks are coming in now against Alutia there from Diana and Patience on that block. Good play from them. But of course, we can see now that there could be a disadvantage for KVC on this because the setter is blocking Alutia there. And good play. Grace keeps it alive. Ball is still on. It's a free ball for UPDF. The ball goes through the middle. Big swing. Christine keeps it alive. It's another free ball. The setter sends a dump. Ball is kept alive. Oh, and UPDF takes it away. Just say something about that type of play, really. It's isn't it impressive?
Yeah, but I think it was a really bad decision from the KVC setter, that is Akanje, trying to set that ball onto the backcourt, yet the ball was being kept alive. She should have perhaps looked at more options on the front court zone, and because they had made so many dumps and the movements were so much, maybe Jackie would have dumped that ball a little bit more. Is it Jackie or Mauritia? Yeah, should have maybe looked for an option of scoring, because she's trying to have so many off spins, though they are not actually scoring for the team. But at that particular time, it was a bad decision from the setter to choose to set that ball into the backcourt. But
Yes.
what a play from UPDF.
And now UPDF again pushing that lead. They're now having a 9-point lead, or 8-point lead for them. They are just really enjoying themselves now.
Yeah, as this game was about to start, one of the UPDF's fans was like, I predict the score, and he was like, this is a 30, meaning it is a 3-0. I told him that I cannot predict such a game because volleyball is unpredictable. But then I think we are seeing a 3-0 coming in according to how the two sides are playing. Otherwise, KVC needs to do extremely or work extremely hard to be able to win this set.
Yes, they need to side out quickly and early. Now having that 7-point lead, I feel they need to settle down and get their services in and work on the defense and relax and just play the ball because there's so much errors on the ball coming on from KVC side, especially in communication and plays from the players. So I think they could settle down and see how to sort it out. But the net defense is trying to be there.
Yeah, the net defense is there. They are trying to defend well, but the problem comes with offense. They
Yes,
are really running out of options on offense. Whenever they have the ball, they are failing to use it.
yes, and UPDF is just there waiting for to get that free ball and
Mm.
see what they can do with it. And we see, of course, Grace coming in with that block, and there's no one there on the KVC side to play it back.
Even when they had the ball, we see Winnie still struggle to score and attack from that position too, which is very, very challenging for the KVC side. And we still see, even when they try to swing and score, there is no point coming in for them. They are defending well, but then again,
Big dump, from Alutia there.
that was a fast dump. The dump came in very fast, and it is hard
Yes.
to defend. Yet she's a very, very tall player.
So look at the scores. It's 16-7 right now. And the body language of KVC can tell you that in this very, very much hot afternoon, they feel like the game should just end if it should, because nothing is working for them at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good dump from Diana though, and still she goes into that dump onto the center of the court, whereby I told you most teams tend to fail to cover those balls there, and
Yes.
if they were very wise, they would try to put more balls in that center of the court, because they score a lot, and every attempt they've made to play the ball there, they've scored. And now Diana goes into service for KVC. Let us see what she can do in that service. Can she try to close up the gap from the 8 points lead or that UPDF has? And it's a good service. But then Alutia comes in with a swing. It is wide out. But then, yeah, the referee gives the point to KVC because the attack is out. I think she should have done better, but she's playing against the tall blocks of Harriet, especially joining that block into the middle. And then she was trying to look for a wipe, but failed to get that. And the dump comes in with Amading, well read by Nawuma, but she picks that up, but it's a free ball to the UPDF side. And Amading with another big swing, but the ball is kept alive. Good defense from KVC side. And Ariet comes in with a swing. Ball is still kept alive. What a good defense from UPDF. Still, Amading comes in with that swing, but KVC really showing that they are not letting this go, and they score finally through a dump. Diana still in service. She closes that gap to 6 points.
Yes, and it's a big chance for KVC to
Yeah,
be there at this moment.
she really needs to keep serving on. And that is a very, very good service. It gives KVC a free ball.
Big swing from Ikapel through the middle, and I think that is again KVC now closing the gap to 5 points once more.
And that sends UPDF into their very first time out from the start of the game. And I think the coaches of UPDF don't want to take any chances.
Yes.
They want to keep focused, and they try to remind their players that this is a set they need most.
Yes, of course, UPDF needs to see how they can take away this set and go away with 3 points and very clean 3 points at that.
If KVC had decided to play like this from the start of the game and maybe try to fight on more, perhaps they would have maybe grabbed 1 or 2 sets for themselves. But now we see they are really trying to fight from behind. Yeah, we see also in the comment section, people are watching in live. Mulinde Adam Chikoko, Kisa Prek, Alex Tamumbeine, Mariam, Nyesiga Robert. We see you're all tuned in and you're sending in your comments. Please keep watching. I see some people don't want to comment. Seems like people had a different idea on the scoreline of this game, and somehow perhaps they are a bit disappointed at the score, or they are surprised on how the score is. But UPDF is showing them that this is a game they came for.
Yes, of course, KVC now taking that lead back to 5, closing the gap back to 5, and another chance for them. Winnie going into serve, she's a good server, but of course the disadvantage coming on the front court with the setter being on the front court. But they could work with that still if the defense behind is sorted. It's a big serve, big set through the middle. There is a net fault from KVC, and UPDF takes that point away. Of course, the swing there, Amoding had gone out, but with that net error from Grace had Amoding play attacked in the middle. She went for the swing in the middle, so she had attacked out. But with that error from KVC, she got that point. And now the setter looking for Winnie on the back court and forcing another error while having Ikapel on the front court.
Somehow I think the tactics and the tactics KVC has, or they came with to play this game, they are failing out, and the plan, I don't know if they came with a plan B, but we see they are failing to, they are stuck in the play, and the setter choosing to set the back court there, it means she's stuck in the play, or maybe the tactics are not working up. And that's
Good
a
play.
very big swing from Kutha. She still comes in and scores for the team.
I think UPDF just looking for 5 points to actually go away with this game. And look at, they are feeling very comfortable right now. They are enjoying this game, and being mature players, they are very relaxed right now, being calm compared to how they were in the previous set. But I think in this moment, they feel they have a big chance to take it.
Yeah, I think that timeout they really needed it because from the time they came back from that timeout, they've gained back their lead, and they've kept it there. They had reduced it to 5, but then their lead is still on now 6 points. Although KVC is trying to close up the gap, they are not being able to.
Yes, of course, Ikapel going in for service as well.
Adam Chikoko says very disappointed. I think he's disappointed with the score right now of this particular game and how KVC is losing. But I think with this win. But
yes.
Then we see another error coming in from the UPDF side.
Yes.
They put that ball outside.
And of course, KVC closing the gap to 5 points. Kutha sends that dump behind. The cover is there. Through the middle. Ball is defended. Of course, the setter does the easiest and goes to Amoding there. It's a free ball. Diana coming in with the dump. Ball is kept alive. Kutha this time another error. I think Kavc is giving this. UPDF is giving Kavc so many points in this moment.
I think that was a very wise decision by the blockers. They withdrew their blocks. I think they read that knowing that Kutha will try to use their hands, and withdrew the block, but then Kutha couldn't read that very early, and she attacked that ball wide out. Mm.
This time picking that up. The setter goes to the middle, and Kavc, UPDF able to get that point. The first referee calls a net touch from Kavc on
And,
that one.
and that was a swing from Balunji, the captain of the UPDF side. Uh, she's one player who needs, I think, consistency in her play, because sometimes she's on, sometimes she's off, but yet she's that one player who can actually cause trouble to the opponent's team.
Yes, with coming in very hard. Of course, she has that strength. There goes an error from the setter trying to dump that ball. Very, very unnecessary in this moment. I think she could have gone to the attackers.
Yeah, that is Olive. Yes, the first pass wasn't the really best, but perhaps she would have tried to convert that set to be a better for the attackers to be able to convert that. And the swing comes in from Winnie, but still the ball is kept alive by the APDF side, and the block is down by Diana. And KVC is still trying to reduce the gap. Um, we see Olive getting into service, but then the squads they seem to be moving at the same pace, and they are failing to close up the gap.
Yes, and of course, UPDF just needs to keep getting one point at this rate, point per point, and to see how they can get it. But there goes another error. I think at this time the setter just needs to look at Alutia and see if she can give her the points right now.
Yeah, we see Balunji, the point she scored. Most of them, the ball was going out wide, but there would be like a net fault from the KVC side.
Yes, in these last points that have come up. And the setter finally going to Alutia, just as we mentioned some seconds back. And she's able to get that point. So they are looking for 2 points. And I think this is something that setters need to learn as well, because they need to know who can give them a point when they are looking to go away with a set. And I think that's something that we struggle with in Ugandan volleyball. It's not just one team, several teams. In fact, almost all teams have that problem where the setter doesn't know. They know, but they're not putting the ball there.
Yeah, and setters, they need to know when they really need to win, or when they need the point, and when maybe to give chance to another player to try their luck. But we see a substitution came in from the UPDF side for the service.
And of course, the service comes in very hard, but UPDF doesn't get that point. Big swing from Diana through the middle. It's a match point for UPDF. Very, very good attack there from their side.
Yeah, and then we see the substitution still coming in. Just the number 3 comes in. That is the setter for the
And you
setter.
know that previous attack, Grace went on the outside and Alutia came in the middle and she took that swing. And that's how they are able to get to match point. But I think they will enjoy this win so much, because getting a 3-0 clean victory for them is something that they've been really looking forward to.
Yeah, a
And
safe
it's a
service
good
came in
block.
from Apolot. The pass is given by KVC, but then UPDF defends that ball, and the game ends 3-0.
Like we predicted, really, it's been a wonderful play from UPDF. They came for this and they knew they wanted to just finish it quickly and take it away, and they've done it. So it's a wonderful play from them, and they are growing slowly by slowly. But then, of course, KVC needs to understand their priorities. What do they want as a team right now? Because I felt like they could have played so much better against UPDF than they did today, especially having put up an impressive play, taking 3 points away from Nemo Stars last in the midweek. So they should have been able to play better than the play they've brought up here. So I think, of course, UPDF coming in with great defenses and all, but I think KVC could have done better in this game as well.
Yeah, that is very right. I think the preparation for the KVC side, they were not very well prepared for this game, and UPDF, or perhaps the tactics that they prepared for this game didn't work out very well, and UPDF managed to punish them for this particular game, and they go on with a 3-0, 3 sets won, no set lost, and they go with 3 points in their pocket. This is a very, very big motivation for the UPDF team, knowing that the teams they are competing with and the teams that they really have to get points from, they've gotten the points from them. And that takes us to the end of this game, and UPDF goes away with a win, and KVC still trying to get the earn points for this particular first half of the season, but then they are still playing a little bit down, and let's see what they will be doing for the next game. And this leads us to waiting for the big game of the day. That is Prisons up against KFVC. And stay tuned in, and as we wait to watch this next game. Thank you.